He is intellectual. He is emotional. He has a will, desire, and affection. He is earthy. I'm talking about the tool that God is going to use to bring about what he's going to bring about. Now notice, if we go back to Genesis, he was told to multiply, to reproduce, replenish the earth. And replenish means to do something again. So evidently what was here before Adam evidently was wiped off the planet and God started again. Amen. But God promised in the flood that he would never destroy man again. And so God is not out to destroy anybody. But everybody has a cause. Everybody has a purpose. That's why when you look in the animal kingdom, animal kingdoms have a potential to be able to keep, if we don't kill them off, to keep anything from ever overpopulating the earth. Amen. The problem is that one predator that feeds on something else is killed off, and there's nothing to kill the other thing where it multiplies too much. For an example, the deer. If the cougars and the bears and the mountain lions, whatnot, was able to hunt like they want to, then your deer population would not overexplode. If the wolf could catch the deer population would not overexplode. So as you can see, if human beings did not die, we would not have enough room on the planet for everybody. And we would not be able to feed everybody. So there is a process in what looks like the madness of God. But God has a plan. I wish I could get a witness here. Man is earthy. Therefore, man, number one, is a murderer. He's a liar. When you want to get a chance, look at Mark 7:14 and Galatians 5. You will see what I'm talking about. All these potentials are there in man. Okay? Now, when you look and go back then, how can I say that we are God's masterpiece? If Adam then is every man, it means God had a very good, delicate plan that he was putting forth. The plan was simply this. Adam was not the real man. Adam was a prefigure of him that was to come. In order to get a perfect man, the way that we are discussing, especially trying to get it from a position of a mosaic, meaning a different set of folks from all nationalities, which we see in every tree that's in the garden. I wish I could get a witness here. This man, number one, had to disobey God in order to start the process of reproducing after his own kind. And the thing that we have to understand is we all come from a common blood. If everybody was to trace their genealogy back, and I'm just going based on what they have already found, it would trace back to some parts of Africa. And this is not, this ain't racial. This is what they've told us. I'm just passing some information. And it simply implies that all of us comes out of a person that came out of the dust. This man that God had made in his image was a man just like himself. Amen. A man that had all of the propensities of being God himself. but was flawed by design. Because God has a purpose for your life and my life. There are things that God needs to get done in your life, and only another person or another entity can get you to wake up so that you can do it. I know you don't believe this. But when Egypt got beside itself, and the Pharaoh said, the river Nile is mine. I possess it. I made it. It angered God. God raised up the Babylonians. He could have struck the Pharaoh with lightning himself. He could have struck him with leprosy. He could have destroyed him right on the spot, took his breath right away, but he did not. What God did was raise up the Babylonians and say, I'll have the Babylonians to take them over. You got to understand what's going on. Sometimes when you don't act right, you're looking for God to get on your case. But I'll tell you what get on your case. Your boss gets on your case. Your landlord gets on your case. Your mortgage company get on your case. Hello. PSENG gets on your case. Hello. And start bringing you back to some kind of reality. Sometimes you end up in the hospital. And the money that you would save to keep from giving to God, you got to pay it to the physician. Yeah, hello. Hello. But God has a way of dealing with all of us. Sometimes we just know we've passed the test. And we get a report, you didn't pass. Sometimes God has to get outside sources to correct you because you will not correct yourself. Now, I know y'all don't want to hear this. But the point is, I'm talking about a man. You know why? Because God knew what he created. And he knew that everything that came out of the loins of Adam, what they were going to do. Because he knew what he had put in Adam. Adam is every man. Let me just start explaining that to you. In Adam was murder. How do I know that? Because Cain killed his brother. Amen. And Cain came out of the loins of Adam. Hello. Amen. Hello. And as you read the story of Genesis and get on down the line, you will find that men's heart got wickeder and wickeder and wickeder. And the Bible says it repented God that he had ever made man. But God knew what he had created. It was really a part of the divine plan that God had made. Because Adam's job was to reproduce. And God caught himself at Genesis chapter 4 through 7. Because what God was getting ready to do was wipe man out. But the Bible said, but Noah found favor in the sight of God. Amen. Do you not know that some of us would have been cut off had not God found favor in somebody that you were close to? Because some of us don't act right. We got a part of Adam's nature that is contrary to the will and the mind of God. But it's his divine plan. Let me just share with you. In Adam was murder, lies, reveling, drunkenness. How do I know that? Because the Bible said, and Noah got drunk. All of these things was in Adam. Where did envy come from? It certainly didn't come from Cain. He didn't know nothing about envy. But he envied his brother's sacrifice. All of that came out of Adam.